Hello, thank you so much for joining us to take a quick look at some of the results that we had in our 2020 fourth edition of the Changing Face of Executive Reputation. We at Canary do this report each year with our partners at the Center for Global Communication, which is part of Emerson College, and Blanquerna, which is part of the University of Ramon Llull. Emerson College is based in Boston, University of Ramon Llull is based in Barcelona. We've been doing this study for the last 4 years, exploring the online presence of executives and some of their behaviors and habits. This year's study has been a spectacular, I would say, groundbreaking year for us because it's actually the largest one we've ever completed. We've had actually over 1,000 respondents, 1,063 to be exact, 96% of whom are managers or above in their titles. 31% of the respondents are founders or owners, and over 38% of the respondents are in the C-suite of companies. We also are actually covering over 13 different business verticals, including real estate, government, manufacturing, retail, technology, marketing and communications, etc. If I were to kind of like bucket the key insights that really popped this year, the first big thing is obviously as we live through one of the worst pandemics in the history of the world, what is the impact of COVID-19? So unsurprisingly, we find that executives are spending more time now online than ever before, and their online presence certainly matters more to them as they jump from one Zoom meeting to the next. Over 38% of the survey respondents viewed a social media professional presence to be more important during the COVID-19 pandemic than ever before. We're also continuing to see the impact of a strong online presence in terms of business results. 65% of 18 to 44-year-olds surveyed are more likely to buy from brands or companies represented by professionals they follow. And last but not least, we looked at some of the emerging media channels that are important for executives. And the big winner in 2020 has been the emergence of video, and in particular, YouTube. 33% of business professionals follow other executives now on YouTube. Now, if we take a step back and look at what executives are actually doing online, first thing is they're much more active in 2020 than they have ever been, and a lot of that relates to the fact that the pandemic has changed our working behaviors, certainly for senior executives. Since COVID-19 started, people are spending much more time on social media platforms, and they're doing a lot of different things. Over 35% of them are posting content. Over 47% of them are reading news, and over 44% of them are using it to network with others and connect with other people. Probably no surprise, when we think about the key channels for executives, LinkedIn remains extremely important. The most important channel for people to review news is LinkedIn posts. Tweets and Twitter remain extremely valuable as well as long-form pieces like blogs. But as I mentioned in terms of the overarching highlights, YouTube has been very important this year, and it has moved up to really rival the importance of some of these other channels like blogs and Twitter. Now, when we look at why executives follow other people, it's interesting. They find that they look to other executives to stay up to date on industry news. As we all try to find trustworthy and sources for information, people are turning to their peers. People are turning to influencers that they trust for that information. They also want to understand the point of view and perspectives of executives at a much higher clip, and also are doing this, building connections with individuals to network more effectively. The reasons why executives are actually sharing more content is very, very interesting to see that it's very focused on networking. I think that what has happened is in a year where we're all spending time at home, we're replacing the events that we would have gone to in the past with online formats, social media platforms to connect with individuals and build new relationships. We also actually see executives, though, using it to inspire, motivate, and connect with colleagues on their team. And last but not least, we're seeing the emergence of building the industry reputation. Whereas in the past, maybe one could go to more networking events in cities and large conferences, etc. The online platform becomes much more important to build your online and industry reputation. The big leader, though, and the big winner in terms of the important channels remains LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the leading professional channel. It's 90% of business professionals peruse and or post on LinkedIn each week. It's a huge number. We've seen that actually jump from 50% of the people that we surveyed in our 2019 study. So LinkedIn has certainly surpassed Google in terms of the place to look up executives. But that being said, we see it kind of balanced out with some of these emerging activities with YouTube, as well as continuing important channels like Twitter. So that kind of gives you a recap of some of the key things that came out in our 2020 study. Certainly take a look at it. I think there'll be a link to download it here, and excited to see what unfolds in 2021.